Hi, I'm Dave once again with Operation Eagle's Wings, and we have an amazing story to tell you about today. Peggy Fortner, who is from St. Joseph, Missouri, is talking with us today, and she engaged in a quest to find her father, Earl Arnold. And now Earl has an amazing story himself. He served on the USS Moynihan, which was a destroyer. It was the only ship under steam during the attack December 7, 1941 on Pearl Harbor. They were able to sink one Japanese midget sub and run another one aground before steaming out to sea. Now, Earl has led kind of a blessed life because the Moynihan saw a lot of action during World War II and was sunk during a typhoon. But Earl just happened to be taken off that ship before that happened. So your dad is blessed.
Yes, he is. He is blessed. He has been all these years.
So let's talk about your search. It's been a while. You were looking for him, and
yes, actually, even as a young child, I had many of his memorials, his World War II pictures, and I just always knew my dad was alive somewhere. And it wasn't until about 20 years ago that I noticed in the newspaper, Dear Abby, that the Salvation Army had the biggest organization for finding missing persons. And so I submitted the application to the Salvation Army and immediately got it back that I did not have enough information. Well, in the meantime, my mother's second husband had passed away. We went to the Social Security office, and the lady got the folder out for my mom's first husband, which was Earl, and I noticed that the Social Security number was on there, and I immediately memorized it. The lady realized what I had done, closed the folder, and told me that that was privileged information, but I already had it. And
good
so,
for you.
Yes, I resubmitted his application, and about a year and a half later, I got this call. Now, Salvation Army goes and asks the person if they want to be found first, and he did indeed. And so he called me, and we talked and had a wonderful conversation. Hung up, and I realized then that I did not have his telephone number or where he was. I was so excited that about 10 minutes later, my father also realized that, and he called me back. And so it was about 5 years later, we were scheduled to go to Santa Maria, and his brother was going to bring him down to Santa Maria, and we was going to visit with his mother, a grandmother. And before I was able to get out there, she passed away. And so at the funeral, I was able to meet my entire family on my father's side.
When was that? How long ago was that?
About 15 years ago.
So when did you first meet your father? When did you have that first phone call?
First phone call was about, I'd say, real close to 20 years.
So what's happening today in Bend, Oregon is you're giving medals to your father, Earl,
yes.
that he has not had in his possession. What brought this about today?
Well, actually, we've started bringing grandchildren out, and even our son has been out, and our daughter is going to come out next year and visit with him. And last year we had one granddaughter out here, and she asked him if he was in the war, because he was telling her war stories, how come he didn't have a lot of medals? And we asked Dad, and he said it was just never important. He got out of the war and went to work in Los Angeles and never thought much about them. So my husband Roy got on the internet and talked with various people, and just not long ago we received the medals, and then I started calling different military organizations to try to get my dad the medals presented to him, and could not. They would encourage me, and they would give me another 800 number. But I probably have 25 or 30 1-800 numbers. So I called Shelley and I told her, I said, I'm going to give them to my dad myself. And Shelley said, well, I've got someone to call. And she called a man by the name of Mr. Tobiasen. And
Dick Tobiasen.
Yes, and it's just history from there. And here we are today, and it has been a great day.
What does it mean to your father? What is he sharing with you about what this means to him personally?
He said it was a great honor. And when my husband asked him yesterday, he said, Earl, are you going to be able to do this? Because he has had a bad stroke. And he says, I will stand with him. And so.
So what does this mean to you this day?
A lot. It's just wonderful. I mean, it's wonderful every time I get to come up here and visit my dad. We renew old stories and share our life, and it's just, which has been a great experience. It's one of the most important experiences I've had.
An amazing story with a very, very happy new chapter in the
Yes.
story. The story's not over yet, so we're not going to call it an ending,
No.
but a very happy chapter added to Earl Arnold and Peggy Fortner's
Thank you.
life story.
Thank you.
I'm Dave Adams, Operation Eagle's Wings, honoring all who served and leaving no one behind.
Wow. Thank you so much.